Hi everyone, so I was going to talk to you about pricing in this video, but before I get into that, I think it's important to talk about the different types of agreements that you can get into when you are subcontracting. So the most common is a scope of work, which outlines the different deliverables that the client is expecting you to achieve within a given period. So some things that I like to include or have included in a scope of work are specific deliverables, and it might even be what format they expect that those deliverables are done in. Also, the time that they expect you to take to complete each of those deliverables. Of course, the rates that you've agreed on and the timelines. Generally, the scope of work has a set amount of terms and conditions, if you like, on there. So it might be that they ask you to timesheet or record your hours in a certain way. But those are generally underpinned by a master services agreement. So the master services agreement is a much larger, complex contract that you have to sign, or you might have to sign when you do this type of work, and they generally have a much longer period on them. So the ones that I've signed are generally about 3 years, whereas the scope of work is per project and is much more detailed in terms of that specific project. Now, in your master services agreement, just keep an eye out for some different types of clauses that these agencies might add in. A couple that I just want to point out with you would be your invoicing. So they generally dictate how often you can invoice and what the terms are on that, so whether they pay you within 30 days or 45 days, and it does vary. And another thing would be around the client relationship. So some agencies put in a clause where they don't want you to be a direct competitor with them, so they don't want you to apply for the same types of work that they apply for, which of course in our instance doesn't work because the agencies that we work for do the same work as us. And then another clause might be that you can't work for that client in future. So that's also not ideal, because a couple of years down the track I might feel like I'm equipped to apply for work with that client directly, and I don't want this relationship with the agency to prevent me from doing so. So just a couple of things to look out for when you are signing. Now, you can get a lawyer to check your contracts or reach out to people in the industry who have written these types of contracts or have been on the receiving end, and everyone's willing to help out, but of course a lawyer would be more beneficial. And in the next one I will talk to you about pricing, which of course is linked to these agreements.